The Westerns were trying to tell us about this. How the West was won. Quick draw duel. John Wayne, Clint Eastwood. Quick draw. Cowboys. Rebels. Outlaw Josie Wells. A few dollars more. Trinity is my name. How the West was won. We in the middle of a Western. It seems like all of the powers and all of the four corners of the earth are coming to the West because everything is happening in the West. We're dealing with the sunset. You know, we're in the time of set again. So where does the sun set? Because you're following the sun with the heliocracy, that is the demiurge or the Ubermesh's particular belief system. Yes, the oversoul has a belief system. And they're rooted in where the sun travels. So now it's setting on a historical stage. So everybody's coming to the West. They're following the sun. And what is the dominant color of the sky, or what we would call the space, the medium, the airwaves? That sky usually around sunset is orange. You get the yellow as you approach noon. But as noon approaches 7 p.m., you get the orange. And this orange is pointing to the sacral chakra again, because you're headed to the root. The sky will eventually be red, right where the sun is setting, especially if it's a hot day in the summer. You'll get this imagery even better in your everyday experience just by observing the sky. And so now we're in the middle of this quick draw Western. People are getting canceled. It's culture against culture. Is this group against that group? Is this company against that company? Is this group of innovators versus that group of innovators? There's so much where even the S is taken off of verses. The new generation just says 1v1. They just put a V in there. The S ain't even around no more. Right? You see what they did with Superman, man. The S ain't even on the chest no more. They took the S off the set because you're dealing with set. And what happens when you take the S off a set? You get ET, extraterrestrial, alien agenda all over again. So all of these things and these letter arrangements, they're placed where they are for a reason. And the clues are right in your face. They're hiding in plain sight. If you're looking for the truth, just look right in front of your face. But pay particularly close attention to the details. Because there is the most micro of things showing you what the most macro of things are doing. You know, you look in your personal private life and you can see this ripple effect in this convex mirror that shows you a reflection of what's going on a big level. So yes, people are coming to the West. You know, the West is the nerve center. People are following the sun. You got a storyline playing out. You got a new beginning, right? The war in heaven with a third of the stars being knocked out of the sky, or a third of the stars being knocked out of Hollywood because stars are stars. It's telling the same story. And this time around, we don't know who the shining one is. We don't know who the Satan is. We don't know how he's going to show up. But you're seeing the superstars fall. You're seeing people falling left and right. This is on an unprecedented scale. Sure, people went down in scandal in the past, but never in groups like this. I mean, since 2010, you know, how many superstars either died or went to jail? A big old roundup. And it seemed like it was mainly famous people. the stars being knocked out of the sky. So now you got to wonder what role the Archangel Michael is playing. Who is the Archangel Michael in this round? Is he AI? Is he the internet itself? I mean, what caused these big wigs to have to face these scandals? And there's still more of them facing scandals. Like, what was it that made their time run out, so to speak, on the main stage? You know, what happened there? What is all of this non-disclosure about? Is that who the Archangel Michael is? Or is that Satan being used to clean out whoever may have been a traitor to all things good? We don't know. These things are inconclusive because we don't know the souls of the superstars. I don't know near superstar. And I got pictures with family members, and we in pictures with some of these superstars, but we don't know who they are. My family didn't have to get initiated to be superstars. I have family members who made it onto the main stage using raw talent and determination and Native American great spirit DNA activation, like demigods. That's what kind of legacy that my bloodline is tied into on mad levels of greatness. I'm talking about people who only manage themselves going into the sport and making millions and being one of the greatest to ever participate in the sport, in more than one sport, I might add, but never subscribed to the game or to whatever this is, because they didn't become big figures. They didn't become big time celebrities like that where, you know, don't get me wrong, they're historical, yes, but they didn't, you're not seeing them on TV. They're not, you know, every time you see a commercial, they're not the ones in the commercial. Now, there's a lot going on. You can say that whoever's been digging up these things and talking all this MK Ultra talk, you could call them haters, but what you can't do is deny the fact that there was a project set for mind control. And what you can't deny is that each and every day, so many different things are being said about mediums of mind control, everything from fluoride water to chemtrails to this and that, to things that we can't even speak on. All of these things are being mentioned. Now, here's the crux of it, though. If you want to believe that these things are true and can affect you, autosuggestion is a real thing, and you can make it true for you. If you want to believe that you'll be poisoned just by breathing in this natural air, you can, and you'll be poisoned just by autosuggestion. See, we're dealing with ideas being weaponized in this age more than anything I've ever seen before. I mean, in the past debates, it took years to set up and arrange. You could go on right now and find debates left and right. I'm talking about there's not one sector that doesn't have civil wars going on in it. Everything from the astrologers, the tarot card readers, the conscious community, you know what I mean, to the red pill community, there is civil war. We're really dealing with an infinity war. The comic books and Marvel and the movies and stuff they just reflecting back to us what's going on with us. That's really what all of it is about. But they keep telling the same story, and depending on how you interpret the story is how you're affected by the story. Now, if you're just watching it just to watch it and just purely entertainment value, then you're gonna enter the mind of the 85. If you're going in it as a tool to manipulate others, now you're the 10 who eats the 85. But if you're the 5%, the poor righteous teacher, if you're looking at it with a third eye lens and a warm and compassionate heart, now you're seeing things with golden sight. And your navigational systems is going to provide more dolphin-like senses than whatever else is swimming in this proverbial water, this thing we call space, this medium, this dark matter, all of it, all that existence is. We're chasing the sun in the west, so the sky is going from orange to red, even with traces of purple. But you got those energy centers swimming about, chakras. You got the sacral swimming right up there with the root, swimming right up there with the third eye. You know, third eye, sacral, and root are some interesting energy centers that have spinning at once. But if we're chasing Set and everything is happening in the west, and all of creation typically follows the light that powers the creation, then everyone is chasing the sun. So we're all riding off into the sunset. People are riding off in infamy. Some are riding off famous. Some are riding off heroes. Others are riding off villains. But don't you get this feeling that everything we're riding off into the sunset? Now, this doesn't mean that all things are over, because we know that there's a recycling. Eventually, the sun's going to come up. New talent and new ideas and new ways of doing things are going to spring up. We know this, but we are indeed headed to the setting of the sun.